My name is Mary Louise Davis, and this is my final art project for Indigenous women artists. The theme for my art project was the Western concept of beauty and how it doesn't work for women. And I really wanted to capture this in a physical way so that I could make my audience see directly how my art project illustrated how beauty could not possibly work for women in the Western sense. And I also wanted to juxtapose this with ideas of beauty that do work for women. So I'm just going to show you a close-up of my art project now. Okay, so as you can see, I illustrated this concept by creating a small installation of various objects. These objects are all made from different materials, and each object portrays a makeup item specifically that clearly could not work or could cause physical pain to the user. So I'm just going to go through the various objects that I created as part of this installation to show you. The first two objects are these makeup sponges, which I carved from soapstone. To do these, I cut a block of soapstone with saws, and then I filed down these pieces, and then I polished them with a clear wax polish. It really brings out the color of the soapstone, and it shows you the grain as well, which I really wanted to capture. The next item that I created for this project was this mascara wand, and I just used a regular mascara wand for this, and then I glued these small applique needles in, so this would really show how using a wand like this would be painful, and so it kind of I wanted to make it so that the audience would kind of recoil when looking at this, because it just looks so painful and macabre, kind of. My next item is this wooden lipstick tube, which I created, which clearly does not work, just like my sponges and my tube of mascara. I made this using pine on the lathe, and then I polished it. And also, as you can see, I showed some detail just around the bottom to give the audience a concept, and I kind of took a chunk out of it here just to show that it had been used, so that's the next thing. I also made a tube of concealer out of plaster. I created a mold, and I poured plaster into it, and it also says concealer on top. And obviously this doesn't work. It's very hard. It's very crusty. It looks like it could crumble up, and that's kind of the opposite of what a liquid concealer would look like. So sensorially it feels very different than it would, and it kind of also is meant to push the audience away. The next thing I have, one of them I can't really pick up, it's glued to the makeup palette itself, but you saw it earlier. This is a powder blush made of soap, and it's very chalky, and it's also meant to kind of show the audience how a Western beauty would just kind of wash away one's real appearance or one's real beauty. And the brush that I made to be used with this palette of blush is on my board here, and it's something that I embroidered on cotton with golden embroidery thread. It's just kind of a brush right there, and so obviously it would not be able to be used in this way, and so again, I just wanted to show the nonsensical nature of this concept of beauty. The next item I have is a bottle of lotion, which I created by wrapping string painted white around a bottle, and then gluing it in place and then removing the string from the bottle afterwards. And so I got the frame of the lotion bottle without the bottle itself, so it just shows how the outline of this beauty is correct in that there is a beauty that's intended, but it's been removed and it's empty and there's nothing of substance to it. So that's what I really wanted to show with this object. The next object that I created were these eyelash curlers, and they do look very rickety, like they would fall apart, that they would hurt you probably because they do appear so rickety. And I created this with copper wire, by bending copper wire and gluing it together here at the top, and then to stick this piece of the eyelash curler to the main body, and also to give it this rickety look, I used foil that is typically put around stained glass before the stained glass is soldered together. I wrapped my eyelash curlers in the foil and then I burnished it just so that it would stick out at odd angles. So there you go. These are my eyelash curlers. And then the last object that I created to illustrate this concept is my beauty